For today's project, I'm going to be installing a mast headlight. It's a tricolor with a combination anchor and strobe light. Also, we'll be installing a steaming light with a foredeck light. This is going on a sailboat that has its mast down for repairs, rigging repairs, and it's a good time for us to replace the lights. For this test, I'm just using a battery which I have fused my test leads with a 5 amp fuse. The reason I'm doing this test is just to make sure the lights work before I get out in the field and install them. Also, I don't want any surprises as far as how this light is going to fit on the mast, so this allows me to be familiar with it before I get out there. It's a cold day, and so I want it to go quickly. Next, there's the strobe light, and that works. And the tricolor light. That also looks good. And we have a foredeck light, which looks good. And finally the steaming light. Now we know everything works, familiar with the wiring, ready to get out in the field and get these on the mast. Now I'm getting ready to attach the base to the top of the mast. The way this works is there's a terminal block with pins in it, which the tricolor light will plug into. And so I'm going to go ahead and first attach this block, and then we've got a watertight seal. I've had to drill and tap new holes, drilled and then used a tap to tap out the holes, and that will allow me to fasten the base. And once I have the base fastened on here, wired up, I'll obviously fill in any holes with silicone. Then you just attach the tricolor, clips right on there. Okay, I've got the base mounted to the top of the mast. The wires are connected. Strain relief is in place, which also seals the unit. And then an extra step that I like to do is whenever making electrical connections in an environment like this, where it's going to be outside, the salt water, obviously, is I use a dielectric silicone compound on the electrical connections. Basically, these are pins that attach to the base and make the electrical connection. I think the idea with this unit is if you had to come up to the top of the mast, you could actually remove it, take it down, service it, and then put it back on without having to do the whole operation at the top of the mast. I've also had to be careful, and it locks on just that easily. I've also had to be careful to line up the light, the tricolor, with what is the front of the mast. It's laying on its side a little bit right now. So there's our mounted tricolor. Next, I'll go to the base of the mast, connect my battery to the wires just like I did in the shop, and confirm that the light works, because we really want this working before it goes up in the air, so we don't have to go up the mast to fix it. Okay, here's our new steaming light and deck light ready to go on the mast. I've drilled the holes to match the old screws, and got some washers to fill the hole. And then I've also shrink tubed the connections so they're sealed. Also put the dielectric silicone on there. We're replacing a automotive style outlet which was on there before. The heat shrinked butt splices will hold up much better. there's the steaming light, deck light combo mounted to the mast, and testing the deck light. Everything works. There you can get an idea of what the whole mast looks like off the boat. And again, my test setup with the battery providing power. And there's the tricolor working, and I'll go down now to the other end of the mast and try the various lights. And that's it. Our project is completed.